Footsteps echo, a bridge, blood-red sky, wind howling like a person in pain. A silhouette clutches their face and opens their mouth, but the scream doesn't come from them. It comes from the world around them. One evening in 1892, a man was walking across a bridge when the sky suddenly turned blood red. He felt the ground tilt beneath him. His heart slammed against his ribs, and in that moment, he heard something. Not a human scream, not his own terror, a scream from nature itself. That moment became one of the most iconic images in history. But here's what they never tell you. The scream is not a painting of fear. It's a painting of a panic attack, one that almost killed its creator. This is the real story, the untold canvas. Edvard Munch wasn't a normal painter. He was a man haunted by death, haunted by sickness, haunted by the voices in his own head. By the time he was 13, he had buried his mother and his favorite sister. When he became an adult, another sister was locked away in an asylum. Munch believed madness was hunting his family, and that one day it would take him too. He wrote in his diary, "Disease and insanity were the angels that kept watch over my cradle. This is the man who walked onto that bridge in Oslo. This is the man who heard the scream." It started as an ordinary evening walk. Munch and two friends were returning from the hills outside the city. The sun was setting, nothing unusual. And then everything changed. Munch stopped, frozen. He stared at the sky, and it wasn't blue, it wasn't orange, it wasn't natural. It was red, a violent red, like spilled blood across the heavens. The whole sky pulsed, swirling, collapsing into itself. Then the world tilted, his vision blurred, his chest tightened, a sound filled his ears, a high, whistling, piercing shriek. He grabbed the railing to stay upright. His friends didn't hear it, but Munch wrote, "I heard the enormous, infinite scream of nature." This was not imagination. This was a medical emergency. Today, psychologists have looked at Munch's diary entries and see it clearly. Edvard Munch was experiencing a panic attack, complete sensory overload, derealization, cardiac anxiety, auditory hallucination, visual distortion, and a loss of grounding in physical reality. Think of it like the moment before fainting, but stretched into eternity. And it didn't stop that night. Munch lived with these episodes for years. Doctors feared he inherited his sister's schizophrenia. He drank heavily to calm the fear and became addicted. He once confessed, "My art is born from illness." So he painted the scream. He wasn't painting a symbol, he was painting a symptom. Here's the twist. That blood-red sky Munch saw, it might not have been a hallucination. Scientists now believe it was real. Just a few years earlier in 1883, the volcano Krakatoa erupted, one of the deadliest explosions in human history. Ash shot into the atmosphere, circling the globe for months. It turned sunsets blood red everywhere, from Norway to New York, meaning the world Munch described actually looked like the end of the world. Combine that with his psychological state, and you get the perfect storm. A real sky that looked apocalyptic, a painter with a fragile mind, and a panic attack that ripped a hole in his reality. That is the moment captured in The Scream. Not a metaphor, a memory. Munch's life spiraled. The attacks continued. He fought hallucinations. He drank until he collapsed. He entered a psychiatric clinic, voluntarily, terrified of what he might become. He wrote, "I felt the scream pass through me. I heard it, and then I painted it." When the scream was first exhibited, critics hated it. They said it was ugly, distorted, unstable. One reviewer wrote, "Who would want to look at a face like that?" They didn't realize they were looking at a man's breaking point. Today, there are multiple versions of the scream. One in Oslo, one was stolen twice, another sold for $120 million. But the real value of the scream isn't the paint, it isn't the frame, it isn't the price tag. It's that it's the first painting to ever capture a panic attack in real time. Not fear, not horror, but the moment a mind collapses inward and reality tears at the edges. The scream isn't just a face, it's a sound Munch heard. a sound that almost destroyed him, a sound he spent the rest of his life trying to escape. It is, in every sense, a self-portrait of the soul in crisis.